What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another member Q&A from the Pacers Gaming channel. As you can see, I got the whole crew here. Besides, we see Spencer, but I doubt you guys can see Spencer, the man behind the camera. He's always lurking and editing, but he's hooked us up with about 7 to 8 questions that our members have asked, and our players and myself are going to give you some good feedback on that. Guys, you ready to roll?
Yep.
Let's get it.
Do
it.
All right, here we go. First question today is from Coltrane. It's about internet connection. We know all about internet and how important it is in our world. So he said he has decent internet, 100 down, 45 ping, but every time he plays 2K, mostly Park and Pro-Am, he gets bad delay where he can't dribble or shoot properly, and defense feels like he's on skates. We talk about that a lot, as you guys know. Super frustrating, doesn't know how to fix it or if it's a 2K issue, but a lot of his friends aren't having the problem. So I'll throw
Wi-Fi.
it out to the group. That's the first point. So Swizz, tell everybody the difference between Wi-Fi and having a direct connection.
Yeah, so I mean, anytime, like whether it's like if you're like wireless to anything, whether it's your controller, your headset, I think everything should be wired. Your internet, it should all be wired because direct connection is always going to be better than a wireless connection, right? So like I would suggest having everything wired. It makes everything better. You'll always get better internet speeds if you're wired to your router from your Xbox or PS4 or whatever it is. So I would highly suggest just buy like a 1,000-foot cable if you need it running through your whole house. Parents might not like it, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
And remember, we were running Scrims early in this year, and your boy Jomar kept forgetting to plug it in directly. He was on Wi-Fi. It was killing the screen.
Yeah,
right,
it was
Jomar?
definitely a bad scene, man. So don't play on Wi-Fi. I can tell you that.
But let's talk about 2K in general. This is kind of a known issue, right? It is a little bit delayed in Park and Pro-Am. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I think it's just something. I know if you are, you just kind of got to fight through it. Like Swiss said, best you can. Get that wired connection. If you play on like a TV or something, maybe play on a monitor to try to help the best you can. But other than that, I think those are the only things you can really do. And then if not, if it's still delayed, you got to fight through it.
The only other thing about in 2K is just always make sure what server you're on. You could be playing in West servers if you're in the East Coast, or East servers if you're in the West Coast and you don't know it, and that could be part of why you're delayed or not. So that's something you could look into.
That's a great point. So maybe if you're in a party with some buddies, ask them where they live if they're not your IRL in real life friends, because you could be playing with someone in New York and you're from California, like Bo said, and that's where you're going to feel delayed, but your friends won't.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I will say one thing too. Personal advice from personal experience. I don't know how much everybody else has dealt with it, but when I was back home Puerto Rico, internet is not good. There's always one time of day that internet is way better than another time. So if I'm playing at 4 p.m., probably won't be able to play. But if I'm playing at 1 a.m., maybe that's the best time to play because the internet is smooth. So do some speed runs, speed tests, and see if you got a time that is best for you. Maybe that will help a little bit.
Great point. Love it. All right, let's move on. This looks like a question maybe for me here. So it's from KD Hayes. Shout out to KD. Are there any job openings for Pacers Gaming? I would love to work with you guys. You have the best basketball pedigree to win the championship. Well, thank you so much, KD. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have any openings. We're in the middle of the season, so Spencer and I are sort of our staff for the time being. But you never know in the future. Stay tuned in the off season. You could see something pop up. I do suggest going to teamworkonline.com. That's where you'll see a lot of the sports positions that are available in the NBA, the MLB, the 2K League, everything. So Teamwork Online is definitely a great resource if you're looking for an esports job in the 2K League or even a traditional sports job too. So stay tuned, KD. We appreciate your support. Next up from OH8 Rondo. This is a regular on the channel. He said, what good do you guys think 2K21 will have in terms of a connected My Player mode to play with a friend, Like you can be on the same or different team. And he also asked about job opportunities.
That's glitchy. I like that.
Connected
glitchy.
careers.
Yeah, connected careers.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
So I think like a My Career co-op or
Yeah.
even to play against each other. What do you guys think?
I
Nate?
actually think for casual, I think that's fun. I think that actually would be a pretty fun idea. I don't know if they're gonna do it or how they would do it, but I think it's a cool idea.
It would be
That'd
really
a cool
fun.
idea, but that probably would be in 2K30.
Yeah, might be a little bit still on the
li-
calendar, but it'd be cool.
A little Bobby Buckets and Nate Call pick and roll.
Oh!
Bobby Buckets coming off, lob up to Nate Call. Come on.
That's an ugly pick and roll.
I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gonna be fighting for your badges and stuff. It's a tough scene out there.
Facts. That's facts.
No, but it could work if you're like a big man trying to get Lob City and then.
Yeah, you can boost. You can boost. Get someone and boost your
It's
badges.
more for fun, the fun fact, not for the competitor. In my opinion,
I'm boosting my
I'll
badges.
be locked in. I'll definitely exploit all the try to get all the badges quickly with somebody.
100%.
Because at Madden they have it where it's called Connected Careers, and it's like a season and it's still competitive, so it's pretty fun.
I don't think you'd be on the same team though if you're a player or something. That would be crazy if you'd be on the same team.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
insane.
interesting. And I know in the past, was it in 2K20? I can't remember if it was in 20 or 19. I think it was
The
20.
orange juice.
Oh, orange juice. I remember that too.
Yeah,
He was
it was a
glitchy.
duo.
Yes. I remember that. You'd like press both thumbsticks.
Yeah,
Your orange
it's like
juice
team
rolling.
takeover for orange juice or something. Some weird.
Bro, he was glitchy.
Yeah. Was that Freak? You guys remember Freak?
Yeah, freak.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
But what I was going to say is how you you gain more experience based on the game mode you play. So like at the beginning of the year, 3v3 Pro-Am was like exponentially higher, right? And then it kind of transitioned to Park. So maybe, to Swizz's point, to disallow boosting, maybe you can play co-op career, but you don't get as much XP.
Yeah,
Something
true.
like that.
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't know. That's a great idea, though, Rondo. I think the
Yeah.
guys like it, as
I
you
do.
could see there. All right, from Ricky Shockley III. He said, "Hey guys, Nate the Great, aka Lonzo Call." He didn't say that, but that's what we call him
Oh,
here.
come on. We
Oh, I was about to say.
Nate just did our Pro-Am film review, and it was great, but we're struggling on offense versus teams that really smash the X button in the lanes. So that's X on Xbox or Steel, which is square on PS4. It feels impossible for the point guard to ever pass to the wing or corner without getting picked. Is the only way to avoid this by running pick and roll and only passing if a perimeter defender collapses. We just can't seem to pass around the perimeter without getting picked against really good teams.
Yeah. Well, I'll let Bo add on to this, but I'll start it off. I think there's two ways to make a good pass, and that's either one, predetermining if that player is going to collapse. So if you're passing to the wing or to the corner, if you think that you can outsmart that defender and you know that he's going to go, and you can make a wide open pass, then you can do that. Otherwise, yeah, the answer would be to react as to when he actually collapses, and then you can make that pass. So I think that's kind of the two ways that you can do it. I also remember doing your Pro-Am film review, and we kind of talked about spacing. So make sure you guys are always properly spaced at all times. You don't want 4 people on one side of the court. I think I remember breaking down
That's
a few
a
of
big
your
one.
plays where you guys had 4 people on one side of the court, and one guy was just working over here. So it allows for more bodies to cover more of the court. So you want to make sure you're properly spaced, and then it comes down to just passing IQ and knowing when to predetermine and when not to.
Yeah, it definitely also it happens about you have to be careful when you pass the ball, because in 2K passing ends are really OP. So like you can't just pass the ball randomly like you're passing in IRL, like here you go, and keep passing around. You have to make sure you're wide open, come to the ball, or you have to make that guy come, with it, whether it's making a good move in the pick and roll or whatever. So like everything that Nate said basically.
Yeah, well said, Bo. Well said.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is if you're trying, like they said, a great way is to make the defender collapse. So it's almost what you do before you make the pass. Some of the best point guards or guards in general in the world have specific moves and direction and timing that they know will make someone collapse, right? So I think of Dimes in particular, who's a point guard for the Mavs, who's really good at, he has a specific dribble combo that for some reason it makes the defender's eye think, man, I got to help right there. And he knows in that split second he can do what's called a guest pass to the guy who's going to drop.
It's almost like Cody, he primes the defender almost. He primes him to get to do something you want. So that's advanced stuff, but that's important to know. So I think that, all that is good information for sure.
Definitely. Awesome. Good stuff. All right. The question that Spencer let me know was a goodie here is from Boy Bambino to Lonzo, aka Nate Call.
I got 2 of them today.
You got 2 back to back here.
Fire. Nate. What's up?
Does Nate wear his ring from season 1 around, or is he waiting for after season 3 to wear both?
He brags it every time, man. Look at him already, bro. Bobby knows.
Here he goes.
Ooh. That's a beauty right there, boys. That's a beauty. Jomar, that's a beauty. You got to admit.
That's killers.
No, I don't wear. I don't wear it around. No, I think I've only worn it once, and it was at the finals last year when the T-Wolves played the Sixers. I felt like that was an appropriate occasion to wear the ring. So outside of that, no, I usually just keep it. Well, I don't want to. Now
watch it closely. You don't want it to.
You don't want to lose that thing.
Yeah,
I can't. You may get lost someday. I don't know.
I keep it right next to my bed. So if you want to get it, you got to go through. Me.
See, Nate, I thought you were going to say, well, Bobby actually told me that every time you guys play Catan, you wear it to the game table.
That's killers. Although I can't be a bad sport, Bobby is right now the king of Catan. So I have to be a good sport about that. So give credit.
Bobby Catan? Is that what it is?
Bobby, as long as everyone knows I'm still the king of Coop, we're good on
that. So Boy Bambino also asked about scrims on game days versus regular practice days too. So Wolf, do you want to touch on that? The difference between a normal scrim day versus maybe a game day and how we approach scrims?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a big difference, I would say, in terms of don't get me wrong, we're always competitive, but on scrim days we're a little more relaxed. Maybe we're trying different things, we're trying different sets, and sometimes, believe it or not, winning the scrim is not always the most important thing to us. Sometimes we want to practice a press that we want to run, or we want to practice a certain play, we want to practice a Swiss pick and roll with Bo or something. So ultimately, the goal is to get better at that specific thing that we want to practice and not win. We win is great. That means we're perfecting that and doing good. On game days, that's when we're fully locked in. Obviously, winning is the most important thing. So we prepare the most. We watch a lot of film. We have game plans, and we go out there and execute it to our best. Everybody's locked in and playing at their highest level. And I would say that, obviously, but we do play our best on game days. I don't think we're a quote unquote scrim team, because that's not our main focus,
And I do want to point out something that maybe not a lot of other 2K League teams will talk about, but what Wolf just said is a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
Right. We have some very competitive people on this team. I'm competitive. Spencer is extremely competitive, and we want to win every single game, whether it's a scrim or not. And sometimes it's hard to be able to flip that switch and be like, okay, right here, maybe we haven't worked on this press, but I want you guys to try it. And maybe we get down a couple buckets, right?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were practicing the press for the first time, and then every time the first quarter, we'll give up like 4 or 5 threes, and the score is like 15-6, and we're like, dang, But, end of the day is, we're practicing the press, right? So our goal is to get better at that. If we're going to give up threes, we might as well give it up now rather than the game. So
yeah,
it's a tough mindset to have, but all of us individually gotten better at that, and it's translating to the game day. So it's pretty big for us.
Definitely, great points.
Yep, great points.
All right, here we go. This question's not about Nate, so everybody else be on your toes here. This is from Chase Ludlam. Finally, Bo. In your personal opinion, what is the most frustrating part about 2K in general? and the most frustrating part about the 2K League as well.
Those are
I mean, I can already
spicy.
say a 2K League off
Spicy.
rip. That's easy. That's
All
the
right.
easiest question of all time.
All right, let's hear it, Swizz. Come
You
on.
All
got
right, in the 2K League, so like you get a full white, it's supposed to be green, and your guy
Oh yeah.
and your guy extends like he's getting a green animation and never goes in ever. It's a miss no matter what every single time. Worst thing in 2K history.
So let's talk about our theory with that, Swizz. Explain what that means in a little more detail.
So if you get that animation, we think you basically time the shot correctly, but 2K how it's made, it doesn't give you a green, and it just gives you a green animation, and it just doesn't go in. But we think you time it perfectly, and it's just like how the game is, and it's just unlucky, and it just happens, and you gotta get through it and get past it, and it's just tough. It's real tough.
To add to that too, those not going in, but then when someone shoots a early or a late, and
right,
those go in, that's what gets frustrating.
that's when it tops on.
I have a theory though. I think it's early. The league
hot
build
spots,
based
bro.
on
It's
the
hot
early
spots.
patch. Yeah, well, it's hotspots as well, but I think it's based on an early patch where like shooting wasn't at the best in retail, and it was like probably like close to launch, and that's the patch we're playing on.
Yes,
so
I agree with that theory.
That's one theory. Another theory is none of us have hot zones in the league.
That too.
Like no player in the league has hot zones or hot zone hunter, so that's another theory. Probably the two biggest things that I could think of that why that happens. So,
and I think, not to get too philosophical here, but another thing we've talked about as a team is, like Swizz said, it's going to happen, right? The way the mode is, and you can approach it from two different ways. And I hope not many other teams are watching this because I don't want them to take it from us. But you can either get really mad and be like, man, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. I'm done. I don't even want to shoot again. Or you can be like, okay, I just had a perfectly timed release. Unfortunately, 2K didn't let it go in, but I know I've got the timing down. Next one's going to be green, right? And that's something we've tried to work on as a team, and they've gotten really good at being like, great shot, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we have, man. We came a long way from that. Like we've gotten much better at that.
Definitely,
because it at one point it was bad, So
I ain't gonna lie, real quick. The green release animation is by far the second most annoying thing in the 2K League, but it's not the first, man. It's not the first. Getting a crab on a lock and you get crab from behind, ain't that right, Nate? Getting a bad steal, that's the worst. That is the worst. There's nothing worse than getting plucked when you feel like you made the right move and somebody gets a bad pluck, to say the least. Like,
here's my quick little
there's an art to it, Nate. There's an art to it, right?
Yeah, first off, there's an art to it, but I have to defend all my locks out there watching today. All the locks. Listen, as a lock, point guards always seem to have the advantage when it comes to scoring, when it comes to everything, except for defense, of course. But here's my point.
Point guard lock beef.
Here's my point, Bo. Hear me out. You guys can drop 40 on us, right? We have to have a tool in the tool bag to be able to use to counteract that a little bit. So when I get crabbed, I want to have something that, like, okay, I messed up, but I need something that can save me for that possession. You feel me? So I think that we deserve the plucks, Bo. That's my argument to you.
Just like PG's going up with 90%.
Yeah, exactly, Bobby. Exactly.
Why am I getting bullied?
Hey, you started it, but I'm be honest. You
tough.
Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So that's 2K League. What about 2K in general? And anything, Jomar, I'm going to throw it to you. What do you think for you is the most frustrating part of 2K? And we'll talk retail.
There's a lot of stuff. No, I'm not playing my team. I think that's one of the most that has the most stuff that shouldn't happen. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, I will say, obviously, we all know it happens in the league build too. But 2K related, heavies, in my opinion, shouldn't go in. Obviously, people say, like, in real life, you get contested, you still make it, but it's a video game. There has to be a skill gap, and that's the skill gap where you contest perfectly, they should miss. So that pisses me off. And then, obviously, I would say something that comes to mind is like facing somebody that just whites everything and they keep making every shot, and I green 5 shots, and then when I start whiting, I can't make it, and they win the game. That frustrates me a lot. So I would say, just rewarding shooting. Also, I feel like if you shoot 10 shots and you green 6 or 7, you're gonna miss your next 3 whites. There's no way you're making them at all. They're not rewarding you for greening those 6, 7 shots. Where the other guy greens whites 10 shots and probably makes 5 or 6. So it's the same. It's the same thing. So that's the two most frustrating thing for me, probably.
Real quick, also everybody knows the 99.9 for 2K. Sometimes you could be a 99, you could win the game, have a good game, but the game will give you a 96 and your overall goes down. That's really frustrating.
Oh man, that is super frustrating.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I definitely concur with that.
I did not deal with that one.
That's a good one too. Bobby or Wolf, anything frustrating in retail for you guys?
Yeah, I would say the opposite of the 2K league, where open layups and stuff, you miss them because of the paint defense on retail.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a big
Complete
one.
opposite of the 2K league.
That's a big one.
Is that Purple Intimidator?
I mean,
Purple Intimidator, the best badge on the game.
Oh, I love it.
And
I love it.
I would say Pogo Stick is kind of annoying too. I'm not gonna lie.
it's still in the league. We miss a wide open layer, right, Wolf?
Yeah, a tough team, bro.
That's a killer.
Wide
For
open
retail,
layup.
Like, I'm not a fan of the crutch badges, like Bobby said, like Pogo and flexible release, and
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the
There's
badges.
some other ones too. I
Steady
can't remember
shooter.
all of them. Yeah, steady shooter.
Yeah, it's like bail people out for
100%
bad
thousand.
plays. I'm not a fan of that because I want the game to be as competitive as possible. So
Yeah,
that's probably my biggest pet peeve about retail.
it's a good one.
All great points. All right, last but not least, we have our guy, Daniel. He said, how do you feel about Bucks GG stalling against the Blazers? The league's still trying to grow, and it was aired on ESPN. He just wanted our thoughts on how we felt about it. So I'll go ahead and take this one. I agree. I think our league's trying to grow, and we want to put out the best product as possible, especially if it's on ESPN and our growing audience on both YouTube and Twitch. So I think whatever makes the games as enjoyable as possible is what we should strive for. And however we can bring more people who are interested in 2K and interested in our game is what we should be doing. So I'm not going to talk about any other organizations or any players. That's on them, and that's the decision they make, how they want to represent themselves. But for us specifically, we'll fight to the death and compete no matter what. So that's how we're going to approach it, and hopefully we win a lot of games so we don't have to be in that situation. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So I think that's it, guys. Though, any last thoughts about these questions? We had some dandies today, pretty good
Some
ones,
good
right?
ones.
Too many Lonzo ball questions.
I got to pull out the ring. I did not wake up today thinking I was gonna get to pull out the championship ring.
I just want to say,
It
lock
felt good,
sucks.
huh, Nate?
Yeah, it felt so good, Swiss.
Only one Nate question per segment, please. Can't
Well,
deal with two.
But did you have something?
Bo.
Huh?
Oh no, I just want to say that locks suck. That's all.
We'll go off with that.
All right, I do have to remind you guys, this was a member Q&A, so if you want to ask our questions straight to our guys, straight to me, straight to Spence, you can become a member on our channel. The cheapest is 99 cents, the cheapest we could possibly make it. Per month, you get an emote, you get access to these questions, and a lot of more other cool stuff. We also have the Academy, if you guys are interested in getting build reviews, gameplay reviews, and seeing all of the other reviews we've done for other people. You can unlock that by becoming an Academy member too. So we appreciate all your support, all our members out there. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We do play next week. I don't know when this is airing, so I apologize, Spencer. He probably hates when I say this, but I'm still going to say it. We play next week. It's June 10th against the T-Wolves. I believe that's a 7 o'clock tip. And then we play against the Bucks the following day. So it's Wednesday, Thursday of next week whenever you're watching this. Or maybe go watch the rerun. Hopefully we get dubs. But thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to our players for hanging out today. We'll hope you have a great day from Pacers Gaming. We'll see you next time.
gonna lie, I enjoy pulling this off.
Nah,
Oh
shut up.
my
Shut up.
god.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
I
It's
would
fun.
too.
I only get to like see it like twice a year, so
One of these days,
You gotta
somebody's
bring
gonna,
that to Tiki's, Nate.
somebody's gonna steal that, bro.
I wear it.
Facts, Nate, lock in, bro.
Right, you gotta bring it to Tiki's.
Bro, that's the Tiki flaunt it, play, like, you know what I'm saying? Play for the Knicks.
CP, you see that logo?
Find someone to drink, make sure your hands are on the table so they see the ring.
Hey, look at something cool. It's got like our. I don't know if you guys can see. Probably not. Oh, maybe. So it's got the ticket engraved into the ring.
Oh, I see.
Y'all saw the NBA's
And-
back?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Nobody cares about your ring.
22 teams.